Hi, my name is Keith Welch, and I'm a research associate at Oakland Unified School District. This video will give you an overview of an exciting new data source called the Early Development Instrument. The video will show you how to use the EDI data dashboard to learn more about early childhood development in Oakland. The EDI is a community snapshot of kindergarten children's health, development, and school readiness. The results inform place-based planning to optimize healthy development for all young children. Stakeholders can use the results to look backwards and assess how the Oakland early childhood community can better prepare children for school. The results can also help us look forwards to addressing the needs of students in kindergarten as they progress through school in OUSD. We're going to explore the data dashboard together so you can see the different ways you can look at the EDI results. First, let's take a quick look at the homepage. The homepage gives a quick overview of the EDI, how to interpret the results, and how the community is using the data. Now, we'll ask a few questions and then look at how we can use the dashboard to answer them. The first question is, how do I see how well children are doing in my neighborhood and across the city? To answer that question, we first need to go to the data dashboard page. To get there, you can click on the data dashboard link on the top of the page, or scroll down and click it at the bottom. On this page, you can find links to each of the dashboard pages with the description of what the page shows. We want to see how well children are doing in a certain neighborhood and across the city, so we're going to click on the percent on track map. When you click that, a new page will open up with some maps and charts. And so this dashboard page shows a map of the percent of kindergarten students living in each EDI zone who received an on-track rating on each of the domains. The top number is the percent of students receiving an on-track rating in that zone, and the bottom number is the zone number. So what is an EDI zone? An EDI zone is an area in Oakland where between 150 and 200 kindergarten students live. And as you can see here, there are 15 zones across the city. So when we're looking at the map, a darker blue area means that more students were considered on track, and darker orange means that there was a lower percentage of students receiving an on-track rating. Now, right now, we're looking at the emotional maturity results. We can use the Select Domain menu over here on the right to look at the results for a different domain. So you can see the other domains are communication skills and general knowledge, language and cognitive development, physical health and well-being, and social competence. So we're looking at emotional maturity. So the map is, so you can see that in Zone 1 in 2017, 71% of students were on track on the emotional maturity domain. And if we go to 2020, we can look at Zone 1 and see that more students are on track this past year. 80% of students were on track on emotional maturity in Zone 1 in 2020. The table over here on the right gives you just a quick overview of the changes between 2017 and 2020 for each of the zones. So you can see here, Zone 1 went from 71% in 2017 to 80% in 2020. Up here, the other drop-downs allow you to look at just 1 year at a time, or you can also just select one zone at a time by clicking the drop-down menu. First, you click the All button, and then let's click Zone 1. And now you can just see only the results for zone 1, and that gives you a better idea of the boundaries of the zone and what parts of the city it encompasses. Okay, let's move on to our next question. The next question is, how do I see how different groups of children are doing in my neighborhood and across the city? To answer that question, we're going to scroll up and go to the data dashboard page. And then we're going to click on the domain results. Okay, this dashboard page shows the percentage of students receiving an on-track rating on each EDI domain. There are many more drop-down menus on this page which allow you to explore the data for different student groups and different zones and different years and different domains. And you can see here that the data is shown in bar charts, which I will explain what those bar charts mean in a second. But first, just wanted to note that when you're looking at this data and all of the EDI data, it is important to interpret it thoughtfully. There are many factors that could lead to differences in EDI outcomes between neighborhoods, student groups, and years. We encourage you to consider some factors such as access to high-quality early learning, health and family supports, and affordable housing that could have an impact on the results. It is also important to recognize that all survey instruments are imperfect and the EDI is no exception. For example, like other surveys, the EDI results could be impacted by implicit bias. All right, so what are we looking at when we're looking at this chart? So you see bars in two separate colors. The bars in the blue are the results for 2017, and the bars in the purplish color are for 2020. And what you're seeing is the percentage of students who are on track in both those years on that domain. So at the top, you can see the percentage of students who are on track on all 5 of the domains. In 2017 is 47%, 2020 is 44%. Okay, now let's explore all of these drop-down menus. The first two allow you to select a different year or domain. Then the next one allows you to look at the data for the different zones. If you click View by Zone, then the data will be broken out by zone. And then lastly, you can use the student group drop-down menu to look at data for different student groups. So let's go ahead and use this to look at data for different students of different ethnic or racial groups. And so we can scroll down and we can look and see results for different student groups, different ethnic groups here. We could go and we could select to just look at our African American students. And we can go and we can see results. We can see, for example, that our African American students, there were a higher percentage of students on track on social competence and emotional maturity in 2020. But we could go even a little bit deeper and look at results for male and female African American students. So to do that, we would click View by Student Group 2, we would click Gender, and now we can see what the results look like for female and male African American kindergarten students on each of the different domains. And now, just one last thing I want to show you is that you can also look at the results for the different zones for these students. So let's click View by Zone and then click Zone. And just to make things less, so there's less stuff to look at, let's just look at one domain. So we'll click Domain, and we'll click Physical Health and Well-being. And now you can see, so in each of the zones, so right here is the results for Zone 1, and then Zone 2 right here, you can see that For example, in Zone 1, which we looked at earlier, which is around West Oakland, we saw that the percentage of female African American students who were on track on physical health and well-being, it went up a lot between 2017 and 2020, from 52% in 2017 to 77% in 2020. And now you can look at the results in a lot of different ways by using each of these drop-down menus. All right, now let's go answer our next question. The next question is, how do I learn more about the characteristics of students in my neighborhood? To answer that question, again, we're going to go back to the data dashboard page. And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to click the Zone Profiles button. So when you go to Zone Profiles, that will bring up this dashboard page, which shows the demographic characteristics of students living in each neighborhood. So the first thing you'll want to do is choose the zone you want to look at in the Select Zone drop-down menu. So you'll click that, and then let's choose Zone 4 and see what we can learn about Zone 4. So you'll see the map that shows the elementary schools and the boundaries for Zone 4. And then you can see some graphs that show up, also showing you some information about Zone 4. So this first graph shows you where the students who lived in this zone, where they went to kindergarten. And so they may have, even though they live in this zone, they may have gone outside of the zone to go to kindergarten. And so what we see is that in the majority of the students most students went to Franklin, but students also went to Lincoln, La Escuelita, Bella Vista, Manzanita Seed, Cleveland, and Garfield. Then if you scroll down a bit, you see some more graphs that show you some more information about students in this zone. So you can see the percentage of students who qualified for free or reduced price meals in 2017 and 2020, the percentage of students who received special education services, percentage of students who were classified as English learners, the most common racial or ethnic groups, and the most common home languages in that zone. And then you can do that for each of the zones in Oakland. Okay, let's go answer our next question. Next question is, how do I learn more about the questions that are included in the EDI survey? To answer that question, again, we're going to go back to the data dashboard page, and we're going to scroll down and click the Explore the EDI Survey link. Now, this dashboard page shows all of the questions on the EDI survey. These are the questions that kindergarten teachers answered about each of their students in 2017 and then again in 2020. You can see the questions organized by EDI domain and subdomain. So if we scroll down, we can see the questions for physical well-being. And under that domain, there are 3 subdomains: gross and fine motor skills, physical independence, physical readiness for the school day. Under gross and fine motor skills, here are the 5 questions that teachers answered. So about the child's ability to climb stairs, manipulate objects, energy levels, physical development, and proficiency at holding a pen. Okay, let's go back and answer one more question. Okay, so our last question is, what else can I see on the data dashboard and the rest of the EDI website? To answer that question, we'll again go back to the data dashboard page, and I'll show you a few of the other pages that you can open up to learn more. First is the change map, which shows how EDI results changed in each neighborhood from 2017 to 2020. After that is the heat map that shows you the results on each domain for each zone and each year. You can see everything all at once. You can go back and then choose the subdomain results page. And that shows you the results for each of the subdomains, which is a little bit more detailed information because there are 16 subdomains, and that just gives you a little bit more information about how our students are doing. Okay, one more thing. We also, in addition to these data dashboards, have some other pages on the website that you can look at to learn more. So first, let's go to the data collection page. So the data collection page explains how we collected the EDI data in 2017 and 2020, and explains how the EDI is a population level measure of our systems in our community, and not a measure of individual children or teacher performance. You can learn more about that here. Then the Understanding Results page. The Understanding Results page explains how to interpret the EDI data, what each of the 5 EDI domains measure, how we came up with the 15 EDI zones or neighborhoods, and lastly, how on track is calculated. The EDI research page, it just gives an overview of some of the research on the reliability and validity of the EDI. And so it, for example, talks about how the EDI is a reliable predictor of future school success for students. And then lastly, there is the how others use the EDI page. And so that just talks about other communities around the world and the country have used the EDI for policy advocacy and community planning efforts. Thank you for watching this overview of the EDI data dashboard. Please email me at keith.welch@ousd.org if you have any questions or want to get involved. Thanks.